It's Fred and Linda from New Venture New Day on day 12 of our Westward Ho adventure. It's about 9:30 in the morning. We got off to a little bit later start today. We took our time because it's a fairly short drive to Tropic from Torrey, Utah, and we will be visiting Bryce Canyon National Park. We're on Highway 12 that heads south out of Torrey. The entrance to Highway 12 is right across the road from where our hotel was. Very convenient. The speed limit at this point is 50 miles per hour, and it's said that this road, although it's very windy, is very scenic, and it makes a very nice drive. And so far for these first few miles, it's been very smooth, well maintained, and a nice, easy, comfortable drive. Since we're in no particular hurry today, we're taking advantage of that by stopping at pull-offs to take a look at the scenery and read some of the signs and learn what we can about the area. And there is a lot of beautiful scenery to look at out here. Just past the summit at 9,600 feet, crossing over the mountain here, and that's the valley down below. This is very dramatic right here. Oh, well, the 14% downhill grade. Woo, it's all downhill from here. Oh, at least there's a bank on the one side. Before long, the sky started to clear and we were getting into a change of terrain. It was getting a little more rocky and hillier, and we're starting to encounter more curves as we headed south on Highway 12. Despite the curves, we noticed that people that apparently lived in the area with Utah plates could travel a lot faster than I would, I guess because they knew what was up ahead. I wasn't sure what I'd be encountering around the next curve, so I took it a little more cautiously. The views still were just fantastic and getting better and better as we moved down the highway. You drive through deep cuts through the rock. You wonder sometimes how they got those made, and think about the pioneers that settled this area finding these passages through the rocky mountainous areas to get where they were headed. Probably sent a scout up ahead. Maybe some of the Native Americans clued them in on ways to get through, but nonetheless, pretty rugged terrain, but beautiful to look at. And the color of the rocks change a little bit as you're driving through this area. And here comes a really big curve with a group of motorcyclists coming from the other direction. I ride motorcycle, but I don't know if I would be comfortable riding on this kind of a road. Another pull off. Every so often there's a pull off where you can take advantage of the beautiful scenery. So we just proceeded to drive along, and I have to admit at points I would get a little frustrated with the curves and the drop-offs, not being used to this type of an area driving in it, but we managed to get through and appreciate what we were looking at. And here's yet another pull-off by the Escalante River. A lot of people stopping. Beautiful day out. So we just kept rolling along through the curves and the hills and looking for Escalante. And after what appeared to be a very long 65 miles, we made it to Escalante. It was a nice break, nice wayside here with a lot of historical information, artifacts parked. Escalante was settled by a group of people that made their way through that rocky terrain that we went through and found the passes to get in, and the story of that travel is laid out here at the wayside. Very interesting. Why they called the place Escalante and how it got established here. And a very interesting story of the passage into the area and the problems they had coming through the pass and finally making it down here. So if you're ever in the area, take the scenic drive. The other way is a little bit faster, but this is more beautiful, and a stop at Escalante is certainly worth the time. It helps you really appreciate what the settlers who came to this area went through to get it established. And from here it was on to Tropic. The final 40 miles from Escalante to Tropic went quickly, and we arrived in Tropic midday, too early to check in. So we went straight to the Bryce Canyon National Park to do a little preview of what we'd be experiencing the next day as we got into it in more detail. At 1 p.m. when we arrived, you couldn't park here or in the overflow lot, and finally we went through the overflow lot again, and the ranger motioned us there was room for one more car, so we went in. This place is just packed. Cars are lined up trying to park, and the visitor center is completely full. Bryce has a large visitor center with a lot to see in it. One of the first things you see is this mural advertising the hoodoos, one of the famous things here at Bryce Canyon. There's a theater here, like so many of them have, readily accessible from the lobby, and a large exhibit area, a lot of room to move around, the topographical map, very popular spot, a lot of great displays, a lot of great information. So far I'm impressed with all the visitor centers we've gone to, with a lot of great displays, innovative stuff. It's not always the same from place to place. They mix it up, makes it more interesting. This is a very interesting one about the effects of the night sky on looking at the stars and how we've blocked a lot of that out. Again, talks about the Native American culture that was here before it got settled by the pioneers later on in the 1800s. And as we know, the settlements, agriculture, and other business pursuits had a dramatic impact on the landscape and the wildlife and people that were in the area when they arrived. Those changes and so many other things are, again, very well documented in the displays. Very good history lessons. Back over to the overflow lot to pick up our vehicle. Okay, no. And go back to the shuttle lot and pick up a shuttle. We managed to get a spot to park here. There were a couple open, but this shuttle lot is jam-packed full as well. So planning for tomorrow, we plan to be here early before the 8 o'clock start time for the shuttles. We hopped on the free shuttle. That was easy, and we are going to see how that operates. Stop number 3. Unlike Zion National Park, that's coming up in a later video, you're not required to take the shuttle at Bryce, but it's highly recommended, and we could see that already based on the parking lots midday that we visited. So if you want to see the things in the immediate area of the visitor center, take the shuttle. It's just a lot easier. We'll show you in tomorrow's video why you want to drive when you go to the end of the park. The shuttle doesn't go that far. We made our first stop at the Bryce Canyon Lodge. This is the lodge where you can stay in the park. You can actually get a hotel room here and have close access to all the features of the park without having to drive back and forth to Tropic or one of the hotels just outside of the park. Very rustic looking. There were a lot of people here. And it's very impressive inside again. Some displays. And a nice gift shop at the lodge as well. A lot of interesting things in this gift shop. A lot of craft type things. A lot of stuff to look at in here. Fireplace, dining area. You can spend a lot of time here. You'd be very comfortable in this lodge. And it talks a little bit about the architectural history of the place. So we gave it a good look, walked around, and it was time to look at the canyon itself. And here was the trail ride coming back from the canyon. And in a later video, we'll show you where the trail ride starts out, way in the bottom of the canyon. And it's pretty narrow here. You have to have a lot of faith in the mule or the horse that you are riding. And there were quite a few kids on this ride, actually, surprisingly. And they seem to be enjoying it. Here's a sweeping view of some of the canyon. There's much more to see in the later video. Beautiful place, a lot of red rock. It was now past 3:30 and time to head back to Tropic and check in. We're staying at this cabin at an inn in Tropic, Utah, about 11 miles from Bryce Canyon Park. Quaint little place, gravel drive, park out in front. So we're going to check it out. Looks like a very nice room, privately operated. Everything you need. For a change of pace, we decided to try the restaurant right next door to where we were staying. The service was great and the food was really good too. We wanted a nice salad and they did a really great job on it. Join us on day 13 as we get an early start at the shuttle station and get on board and start navigating the park, starting with Bryce Point, starting with the hiking trails there. And already it's a beautiful day. You can see the scenery off in a distance and the trail as it starts out and the different options you have for taking hikes. And we took several hikes that day, and it's just impressive some of the sights you can see, and especially the hoodoos. They are really fascinating to look at. There's no end to the beautiful, beautiful rock formations at Bryce Canyon. This is Fred and Linda thanking you once again for watching this day 12 video, and encourage you to watch the next one and be notified of it by clicking like and subscribing to our channel. So until next time, enjoy your travels and take care.